Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in today's Fighter in Focus video, we'll be looking at the Immolator from the Scions of the Flame. Here he is, the Immolator from Scions of the Flame, and he's all painted with contrast paints, and this was my first attempt at doing flames. I was really happy with how it turned out. I think the contrast paints are really nice to do like wet blends on the models like this. So I was really happy with how he came out. And if you want to see how I painted him, there's a step-by-step video on the channel and you can see that. And the base, I did like this kind of rocky, almost wasteland, badland style base. So there's a video for that on there too, if you'd like to see it. The Immolator came out with the Scions of the Flame Warband, who were released with the Catacombs expansion set for Warcry last year, December 2020. And great sculpts, really great warband. Some interesting abilities, pretty tough if you get too close to them. And this Immolator is a crazy character, completely engulfed in flames, charging through the battlefield. Real fun to play and a great looking sculpt. And here he is next to the Slaughter Shade from the Kainite Shadowstalkers. And these are a great matchup. Two really good looking warbands with different abilities, and I think using them against each other is really fun to play. So if you pick up the Warcry Catacomb set, you get both of these warbands, and there's a link for that in the description below. You can also buy the warband separately, so I'll put a link for that for Element Games to save you 20%, and also an Amazon link there as well. Now we've had a good look at the model, let's have a look at the fighter card stats and the abilities. Here we go, here's the fighter card for the Immolator, and he comes in at 145 points. He's got the faction rune mark for the Scions of the Flame and the Destroyer rune mark, so he's going to get a special ability. He's got a movement of 4, toughness 4, and can take 15 wounds. And his weapon range, he's going to get up close with his fists and pretty much try and set you alight with a range of 1. He can make 4 attacks, strength 4, dealing 2 to 5 on a crit. So for 145 points, you get quite a bit here. You get this nice 15 wounds that he can take, and you get 4 attacks, strength 4, dealing 2 to 5 on a crit, which is really nice. Anytime you get 4 attacks with that nice strength and dealing that much damage is pretty good. And for 145 points, I think there's a lot of value here for sure. So now we've seen the fighter card, let's see what this Destroyer rune mark and the faction rune mark give him for abilities. Here's the ability card, and he's got the faction rune mark, so he can get this double called Fiery Might, and any fighter in the warband with the faction rune mark can use this ability. And for this ability, until the end of this fighter's activation, add half the value of this ability, rounding up, to the strength characteristic of attack actions made by this fighter that have a range characteristic of 3 or less. So this is a real strong warband. And, he's a strength 4 as it is. But for some of the fighters in the warband, they're a little bit weaker at 3. And so you want to, improve their strength characteristic. But also with the Immolator and some of the stronger ones, using this double can really, really bump up that strength characteristic. So if they're going up against maybe something like some ogres, or they're going against the Iron Jaws, then you can really start to compete on strength using this double. And they can be pretty tough to fight then. But our Immolator has also got this triple ability called Inferno, and this is from the Destroyer rune mark, so this is unique to him. And for this you roll 1 dice for each visible enemy fighter within 3 inches of this fighter. On a 4 to 5, allocate 1 damage point to the fighter being rolled for. On a 6, allocate a number of damage points to the fighter being rolled for equal to the value of this ability. So just like most of the abilities, this is really playing into the narrative of this character, and you really want to get him up close to be able to use his weapon. But he's also charging in, he's crazy, he wants to get stuck in and amongst the enemy. And so if you can get close to a good number of the enemy, for each visible one within 3 inches, you could potentially damage them. And so on a 4 to 5, it's 1 damage point. On a 6, it's the number of damage points equal to the value of the ability. So, you want a high ability for this, but the chances of getting it is pretty slim. I mean, if you're rolling for 3 visible enemy fighters within 3 inches, say, first of all, you've got a 50-50 chance of dealing any damage at all. And then once you do that, what are the odds of getting a 6? So, you're not going to do a serious amount of damage with this ability unless you get really lucky. And, you know, I've played it a few times now with not that great results. But it's good to just pick away at the enemy. But I don't think it's a real solid ability. And it's certainly not one of the best ones I've seen. And we've also got the universal abilities. And so don't forget we can use those with all our fighters. And so I think this is someone that really benefits from the universal abilities. Especially the double rush, where you can add 1 to the move characteristic until the end of their activation. So if he moves twice in an activation, he can add 1 to each of those move actions. And also the double onslaught, he can add 1 to the attacks characteristic. So that's a really good one for him. Certainly with him dealing 2 to 5 on a crit, being able to make 5 attacks is now really appealing. And even though this has been updated in the errata, so that it now says that it has to be a weapon range of 3 or less, this will apply to him. So this is really good. And also respite, you know, being on 15 wounds is kind of somewhere in the middle, not too high, not too low. And so you may want to use respite just to heal him so he can keep going in and pounding away at the enemy. And so you've also got the quad rampage as well, so you can make that bonus move and then a bonus attack. But I think with the Scions of the Flame, you want to be using your quads for engulfing flames, which we'll go through when we look at this character, the priest, the Inferno priest. That's a brilliant ability. So we'll see that in a future video. There we go, that's our fighter in focus for today, the Immolator from the Scions of the Flame. It'd be awesome to hear what you think about him as a fighter and also as the Scions of the Flame as a whole. Have you played them much? What do you like about them? What's their best abilities? What kind of tactics do you use? So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll put links in the description below to the Catacombs set, but also to the Scions of the Flame Warband if you just wanted to pick them up on their own. And there'll be affiliate links, but it won't cost you anything extra. In fact, you're going to save money at Element Games. And every sale made through a link, I get a small commission, and that helps me develop the channel, do loads more videos like this. And I really appreciate that support, so thanks so much for that. If you like this kind of content and would like to support the channel, then please check out my Patreon page. And thanks to everyone who's joined so far. It's really awesome. We hang out on Discord, talk about the hobby, share ideas and help each other out. And you'll get some perks there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll put a link in the description and it'll be great to see you there. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more content like this. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.